Alright, ladies and gents, we have the Kamvas 22 by Huion. This was sent to me to take a look at and review, and we'll make some artwork with it and see how it goes. Here's the stand, and that's the tablet. It's certainly much bigger than the last review I did, which was a 15-inch from XP Pen. Alright, has little rubber stoppers on the bottom sides here. Silly me, I had this upside down, so it's supposed to be this way. So I guess that sits right there. Alright, we connected it to the power, the HDMI, as well as the USB. I do like the size so far. But let's go ahead and get the drivers. The one thing I don't like about screen tablets is that the keyboard situation, I'd have to reach over. Thinking about getting one of those split keyboards. I already have something like that for the hotkeys, but I can't exactly type a sentence with that. Alright, so I'm actually mirroring my main screen, which is 2560 by 1440, which is not native to the screen tablet, but I prefer to work at that resolution. Okay, heads up, when I installed the driver, it didn't warn me, but it shut down all my stuff. When you're installing it, it'll probably close your applications. This will be my first impression of putting the pen to the tablet. All right, yeah. Feels nice, good surface. Let's open up Photoshop. Luckily, I didn't have to uninstall my Wacom drivers or the XP Pen drivers. I'm gonna make it a little brighter because it seems like this is a little bit more dim than my main screen. It has a temperature controller for RGB, gamma, color effect, whatever that means. Check that out. Alright, so kind of just presets for different things, game, movie, photo, etc. There's more as well. Alright, made a new layer. Alright, so the settings are here in the bottom right. Temperature wise, this seems a little bit warmer than my screen. Now none of my screens are calibrated using a device. I'm just kind of comparing with my phone. Does the color look accurate to what I have on my phone? Because most phones are standard, so I'll upload a picture on Instagram or something and see how it compares. This is a little bit warmer, and I could change that, but let's kind of get in here and just test the actual pressure sensitivity and stuff. Okay, yeah. There's the full range. Gonna press really lightly and see what that does. Very nice and sensitive. I can get the full value range just by pressing harder or lighter. Now the next test is the pen tilt. Alright, yeah, it's got the pen tilt. Definitely more sensitive than the XP Pen. Yeah. And for those of you that want to use the pen tilt, it is up here, assuming that your tablet has that function. If you go to Shape Dynamics, under Angle Jitter, you have to set that to pen tilt for your brush. Now, you can see that it does skip a little bit as you rotate. I don't recall seeing that too much with the Wacom or the XP Pen. Maybe I'm just being clumsy with it. Alright, so the jitter comes when you do like an abrupt turn. Let's try it with this brush. Yep, pen tilt works great. If I want to angle it this way, just rotate it. One thing I didn't mention about the other screen tablet review is the reason I switched over and into a screen tablet, having used only regular tablets for the most part, for the last decade or so. The reason being, I feel like I paint and I draw differently on a screen tablet, meaning I'm more careful and decisive about my brush strokes and all that fun stuff. But I do imagine I'll still use a regular tablet here and there, for different things. I just get too lazy with the tablet because for a stroke like this with a tablet, all I have to do is make a very small movement with my wrist and it'll give me that whole thing, which I guess I could do by zooming way out and just doing that. But I think that's a bit of a lazy habit that I developed with tablets. So this kind of makes me more decisive at a higher resolution. Yeah, feels like natural drawing. So I accidentally pulled the wire out for a split second. Seems like just plugging it back in works just fine. A slightly steeper angle, kind of nice. Just making ellipses. Yeah, it feels really nice. Now, I'm gonna test it for a couple days to get a full impression. But it's actually, I think, cheaper than the XP pen, and for a bigger size, and pretty much the same or if not better quality. I like that I can use the whole motion of my arm when I need to. Imagine if I need to focus more on a specific thing, I can just use my wrist, my fingers. I'm impressed. I'm actually shocked that it's so cheap. And it looks like it's really sturdy, high quality type of material that'll last a long time. And I'm kind of happy to see something other than Wacom on the market that's really this good. Now this is the Kamvas 22, not the Kamvas 22 Plus. I believe the Plus has a different layer of some kind of screen material or gloss or matte surface, something. And I also think it includes an additional USB-C wire along with it. But this is just the standard model. Okay, so the Huion Kamvas 22. I'm going to look at drawing, painting, parallax, ergonomics, color accuracy, does it overheat, are there any negatives? So we'll start with drawing. So far, after using this for a while, drawing is pretty great. It has a fluid motion, it doesn't lag, and the pressure sensitivity works great with Photoshop brushes. I also very much like the tilt function to rotate the brush at different angles, and as I've mentioned, it seems to have a bit more sensitivity to the tilt than my previous tablet review of the XP pen. Painting on it also feels pretty natural and fluid. I should say that the last time I used a Wacom Cintiq was probably 2 or 3 years ago in Japan for the Limits battles, so I can't fully compare this to like a higher end, more expensive Wacom model of a screen tablet, so at least not in detail, but I can't really say there's much of a difference except in price. So blending feels fine, color picking, all that works great, brush strokes, good stuff. Let's talk about the parallax. So the parallax, when placing the pen on the screen, I can barely notice any parallax at all between the tip and the pixels. It's there, but negligible enough that you have an intuitive and natural sense of the pen in your workflow. Regarding ergonomics, so the stand that it comes with is decent, but after an entire day of working at the angles it's capable of, started to feel a bit stiff and somewhat limiting. I don't think I could really have my back hunched over like that for too long. It's certainly usable, but I opted to get an arm from Amazon that has multiple points of rotation for better control. It also is able to hold up the weight of me pressing down on the screen while drawing. Color accuracy. As seen earlier in the video, I adjusted it to get somewhat close to my other monitors. It's a tad bit warmer, meaning there's a bit more reddish or yellow in there, but it's something I can work with, and I'm sure with fine-tuning you can get it to be pretty good, especially if you have like a color correction device that creates a color profile for each monitor, so it sets all the colors to a standardized range to, you know, different color profiles in the industry. I believe it's called a spider color correction something or other. So does it overheat? Nope, not once. Even during a long working session, it didn't overheat at all. It's good throughout. The one negative thing that I can say, and it might be a driver issue, is that it does this weird thing if I turn on a layer or off. So if I turn off a layer and immediately go below that layer to turn that one on, they both turn back on. Even though I'm clicking below it, it kind of thinks I'm still clicking above it and below it at the same time. Not sure why it's doing that. So overall, compared to other tablets on the market that I've tried, this seems to be certainly worth the price, especially for its size. I would, however, recommend investing in an ergonomic arm to better match your comfort preferences. Anyway, special thanks to Huion for sending this Kamvas 22 out for me to review and sponsoring this video. Check the links in the description below for more information. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.